It's Mortal Kombat for Sega Genesis. It's such a vibe. So, not the day that I'm recording this, but the day that you're watching it, through the power of technology and time travel. That's Friday the 13th. September 13th, specifically. Now, that is significant because Mortal Kombat for home systems came out September 13th, 1993. That fell on a Monday. So, most famously referred to as Mortal Monday. Now, since then, the sales figures of that day have been eclipsed by bigger releases, stuff like Halo 3 and all that. But for the early 90s, it was a huge event. Like, the marketing push was insane, and, like, I mean, it was a smash success all around, but especially on Genesis, because this was the home version that had the blood and fatalities. Now you had to put in either the ABACAP code or the Dullard code if you missed putting the code in on that first screen. But the Super Nintendo, there was not even an option for that. And also, even though this version, oh, it doesn't have a pause button. It's weird. There's like 3 buttons to block, but there's no pause. So yeah, the Super Nintendo version had better color and looked and sounded closer to the arcade. But the play wasn't quite as tight. It's a bit floaty compared to this one. This one, like, super responsive. And then, of course, you could unlock the blood fatalities. For that layer of authenticity alone, a lot of people bought a Genesis just for this. This release was so huge that even huge masterpieces like Shinobi 3 were overshadowed by this. Like, even kids like me that were bullied and, like, not part of any in-crowd got to be cool for a little bit by playing this. So, hey, I'm trying to tell a story, Raiden. No respect at all. I got to rent this. It wasn't part of my permanent library, but I remember the clerk at the rental store, I think it was Blockbuster, like, kind of passingly mentioned about the blood, because I think my mom had already heard about it. Like, probably seen something to do with, crap. Supreme Court case that involved this and Night Trap and some other games that were considered controversial for their day. But at some point in the conversation, like, kind of with a wink and a nudge toward me, the clerk was like, oh, well, you know, the violence is locked behind a code, so, you know, it's not something you have to worry about. Somehow, it might have been in a gaming magazine, maybe it was Sega Visions. I had a few Sega Visions magazines at the time, in 1993, by that point. So, or it could have been somebody at school that had passed on the code, but, like, I at least knew the blood code. Like, I didn't know a lot of the other stuff. I didn't know the fatalities and stuff. Yeah, it was cool. You kind of had to be there. I hate to use that term, because it sounds kind of dismissive, but like the frenzy surrounding this game And Street Fighter 2, to be fair, but especially this one was just like a cultural touchstone for a while. It was pretty incredible. And I'll be the first to admit, I'm not particularly awesome at 2D fighters. It's kind of like, I'm better at 3D fighters, but I tend to like and appreciate the art and design of 2D fighters more, and just kind of suck at them. Although, I think I'm better at Mortal Kombat style 2D fighting than Street Fighter. At least marginally. Forgot how to do her energy blasts, and now I'm like, there's not really a practice mode. I think the only way you can kind of fake a practice mode is to like start a 2-player game and just beat them on the AFK. He said the thing! He said the thing! That is not good. Don't do what I just did. Get over here! Come on now. Dang it. We'll see how we do. This is a recording where, I'm willing to have to restart a couple times before I would say, okay, maybe we should restart the video. I mean, obviously, it looks cooler if I can get it all done in one shot or not have to continue. But, why did I forget how to do the energy blast? So, where is it? Walk back. Damn. I forgot in the heat of the moment. Like, I remember her fatality. And the leg grab, but... Toasty! All I'm really concerned about the endurance matches. Yeah, this was, again, I've said it in other games that came out in 1993, this was just such a peak era for Genesis. It's not that the Super Nintendo was ever doing badly, but it was 1994 with Donkey Kong Country. Oh, there we go. Where the Super Nintendo really took off and re-established itself as a powerhouse. And it made sense because, you know, the Mega Drive came out in 1988. It made sense that it was kind of like closer to its sunset years than the Super Nintendo. Yeah, what an incredible year. You know, I didn't get to buy many games, but the rental scene was off the charts. And I got to play this at some friends' houses as well. Again, like this, along with Aladdin, and then of course most of the Sonic games, was pretty much what every kid had. Like most kids that I knew had Super Nintendo, but by this point, more were getting into Genesis because of games like this and Aladdin, Street Fighter 2, and all that. But Genesis was finally getting a lot of third-party support. Like, more companies were taking Sega seriously. this isn't good. I'm being beaten by myself, which actually that's... There's something philosophical about this. It's that one, but that move is not super useful most of the time. No. Stop it! How could you? It's when you flame yourself. Imposter! You are now a skeleton. Obvious. Here we go. Here's what I wish I had a couple more continues in the bank. As we learned to block 101. Oh my gosh, I'm confused. Hit me with it again. One of those special moves is kind of telegraphed, yeah, still fell for it. I did it again. Dang it, you saw how close that was. I've been impaled. It's tragedy. Big side. Very unfriendly. That was too close. Far too close. And then you have to do it again. Like, it's bad enough you fight 2 people, then you have to do it in 2 rounds. And then there's 2 more endurance. Oh, okay, y'all. That's fascinating. To breathe. I know about anything. Okay, almost. Continues. That's it, kids. We saw that screen a lot. Yeah, it's also, I think, where it's talking about. Now, it's very easy to get, arcade perfect version of this. Like, it's been re-released on a few different systems, like, along with Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 as a bundle. And, of course, Mortal Kombat Trilogy made it to a bunch of other systems even back in the day. And, of course, if you're into MAME emulation, it would be easy enough to... I'll try Sub-Zero. Easy enough to get up and running. So why play this? It's still very playable. It still has a great charm. And the soundtrack on this, compared to the arcade, it's definitely its own vibe. Like, it's just it's so moody, and even in places kind of creepy. And it's just such a cool atmosphere that works so well with the game. I forgot Sub-Zero's fatality. It also helps that we got the incredible Mortal Kombat movie, which is still one of my favorite early to mid-90s movies. Even though, stupidly, it was made as a PG-13 movie with hardly any blood. And very dialed back death and fatalities. This really is good. And then, of course, recently we've had a release of Mortal Kombat One. Excuse me, this is Mortal Kombat 1. Now, like, the people who own the intellectual property, like, I mean, they can do whatever they want as far as if they want to reset the timeline or kind of start the story over or do a new continuity. Like, I don't like that, but you know, that's their call. Like, freaking call it Mortal Kombat 1. This is Mortal Kombat 1. I'm tired of these series doing this thing where they reuse the same name. Like, the more recent God of War, one before Ragnarok, is called God of War. No, that's God of War 4. It's a sequel to God of War 3. But someone was like, oh, it's more dramatically interesting, or whatever, or it's a soft reboot, or whatever. It's like, yeah. It's like now, every single time you mention, like, oh, I'm playing God of War, it's like, oh, are you playing the one from, what, 2005? Versus, oh, are you playing the one from 2016, was it? Or 17? Maybe I'm wrong on I might have my dates wrong on the newer one. Now, when we're doing discussions or categorizations on this, now we have to put Mortal Kombat 1, 1993, or Mortal Kombat 1, 2024. It's stupid. Stop it. This is, to me, this is Mortal Kombat 1. End of story. electricity and raise your piece. I forgot how to do Sub-Zero sliding kick. That one probably is in the manual, but I can't pause the game to look at it. For some reason, I was like, oh, I'll have the manual next to me that if I need a reference, but I was like, oh wait, I can't pause the game. Oh no, my improvised bandana / belt is slipping. The things we do for the showmanship. Oh, you think you're so slick? Came out. Hey, yeah. You didn't hit me with it that time. Yeah, if you've watched enough of my videos, you're probably sensing a theme now where it's like, a lot of my gaming history is tied in with... You can chill there for a second. Truth trying to stop being bullied and trying to fit in. Trying to find some sense of community and acceptance. And for a lot of kids, a lot of us misfits and outcasts, Mortal Kombat provided that for a while. It was something that really did connect a lot of us. Like, even though it's arguably like a trashy kind of game, you know, if you put it right next to Street Fighter 2, it's like, here's this like really technically well put together and sophisticated Japanese developed fighter, and then here's this kind of super violent and arguably tasteless. I don't think it's tasteless. I think it actually has quite a bit of class compared to something like, you know, games that try to rip it off, like Time Killers, Sumi Ninja, and all that crap. Like, this one kind of feels like Enter the Dragon. I mean, it's hard to be as cool as Bruce Lee and the other actors, but spiritually, it kind of feels like it's cut from a similar cloth. It's not really big. You can't use my tactic against me just because you're less than me. Well, you did it. Big chillin'. Alright, slightly darker blue Sub-Zero, you're going down. Well, I remember the sliding kick, I think that would have helped me right there. Square. Quick glance at the manual. Darn these cartridge games and their lack of loading times. It's so convenient. It's almost like, oh, 30 years later, we finally figured out technology that almost gets us back to where we were with no loading times. Oh, shoot. Alright, compare cartridges to SSDs when I should have been focusing on the fight. Oh, shoot. Sub-Zero's move list, where are you? Well, it's not a full move list, it's like, they give you one move and then you have to kind of figure out the others. Oh, what's the one I already know, but eat for these. Well, I'm not consulting the internet. I don't remember how much I already did or did not mention of that, but like, I don't do that on this channel. Like, if I can't figure it out on my own or with the material that came with the game, then tough tits.
Excellent. Finish him.
Now, it's not like I make myself follow that rule all the time and all the time. When I'm not recording a video or on a stream, you know, I will let myself look up some information about games on the internet. Like, it's not like it's forbidden, or it's like some resource that, if I use it, I'm somehow less of a gamer. Like, but to actually play the game, like, I'm not gonna use any crutches. And Abacab are the only kinds of codes that use this. You thought you were slick, right? If my timing on that punch had been any worse, though. See, that's what I've been trying to do before with dodging that spin attack. Actually, like, duck kick under them is kind of tricky. If you knock it off, I've got somebody.
Fight. Excellent.
Dang it, dang it. I got overconfident, so I was like, oh, I got him in the corner, it's fine. Oh, yeah, it's... I was like, at the end of the endurance matches, I wouldn't be too scared. Also, can we have a moment for how cool the drums are in this music? Nice dynamics, separation. We've got the stereo spliced in now on these Genesis and Mega Drive videos, which is... We got him.
Excellent.
So, well, when I have a moment, I'll show you the manual. Sweet.
Fight.
It's a couple of books. It's like, what is that? I want to give you an extra value. We've already had our DLC roadmap planned before the base game's even finished. Relying too much on the ice. Sorry.
Fight.
And you are making me mad. Oh, no. Apparently, I can't freeze punch H on this level.
Finish him.
How long have we been recording? Alright, half an hour, that's not bad. We'll have another go at it. If I get another game over, we'll probably end the video. it was a live stream, I'd keep going until I beat it, like, even if it took 2 hours. It's kind of like, if a video is of a certain length, it needs to be able to justify its own existence. I feel like, although we can turn failure into entertainment, there's a certain point where it's like, okay, how long are you gonna keep going though before like, that entertainment value also exhausts itself, and you still haven't beat the game to show for it. But this might be the me that is about to exist 15 minutes from now might think differently, but kind of love the thought of like, well, you know, what would happen if we turn an episode where I don't beat the game into something fun and constructive and entertaining. And there's no rule saying that I can't do another video in this series and then, you know, revisit the same title. Now my plan for that had been, like, for example, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, to play again as Knuckles, but not do another video just like this. Maybe just do just a raw, long play with no commentary, not being on camera, just gameplay footage. But just to show, like, another path through the game. And these fighting games, I mean, depending on who you asked, you know, they might say, like, well, to say that you beat it, you have to have finished it with all the characters. I don't necessarily fall in with that mentality, but it's another way you can kind of explore the game again. So, we'll see. And, you know, we can make it, if we go that route, I mean, I'm trying to win, but if we go that route, we can have fun with it. Alright, round 1, game 1, B0, but... we'll see. And of course, like, those of you who have done videos like this, or live streams or anything, like, you know how it goes, like... I mean, I beat this privately a while back. Not even thinking about it, just fired a game up and was like, alright. Dang it. Relying too much on life. And forgetting to block, there's 3 freaking block buttons and I still... I think that is one area where I am way more accustomed to the Street Fighter way of doing things. It's just that pull back to block. Like, that does feel more natural to me. But... and the chip damage in this is kind of insane. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm the one that's crazy. This channel is much rules, yeah. Oh, and I should have mentioned sooner. We're on yellow alert because, like, today I've been kind of flirting on the edge of, like, am I gonna get one of my headaches? That could potentially develop into a migraine. I don't know, someone might be like, well, what the hell are you doing playing a video game? Well, felt a little better. I got a second win, so it's like, and I really wanted to have this up for, like, the anniversary of Mortal Monday. So it's like, alright, let's give it a go. What could go wrong? I can't think of any other games in the Genesis library that I can play for the upcoming season that are tied to specific dates. I don't think I'll have to worry as much about the pressure of, like, oh, this video... I mean, it didn't have to. It's never a bad time to talk about Mortal Kombat. I just thought it would be cute. Like, just like with the Dreamcast stuff landing on the anniversary of its launch. It'd be fun to have this. on the actual way.
Fight.
Yeah, I feel like the sliding kick has to be like
Finish him.
it feels oops. Dropping your controller now, Jesse. It feels like it should be hold back, charge back, and forward kick, but honestly, I don't think that's it. The cage, you're being idiots. I knew he was gonna do that, but I jumped too late. Slippery one. I tell ya. This game also inspired so many copycats. Like, I mentioned a few of them, but even outside of the tournament fighting genre, there was stuff like the whole digitized character thing. Like, Mortal Kombat wasn't the very first game to do it, but obviously the popularity of this game made it. The company was like, oh, like that's the key to financial success right there. If we put digitized sprites into everything, that's how we're gonna make all the money. Everything from Road Rash 3 to Batman Forever started doing that. Even Batman Forever, like, I claim, I think they recycled the Mortal Kombat engine and a lot of the animations and moves into a platformer slash beat 'em up based on Batman Forever. And it was like, I don't know if that translates well. The Genesis wasn't really designed for digitized sprites like that.
Fight.
And even the Super Nintendo didn't necessarily have that in mind. But it fared a little better with that because of its bigger color palette.
Finish him.
Finish yourself off. It's the game that suggested it, not me. I mean, no judgments here.
Fight.
Squirrely metal faced bastard. Oh. Only I had the Sega activator and the force feedback backpack, I would have felt that impact. Yeah, you probably just have to do that in another such as me. I just messed up there. One down, 6 million. Oh shoot. He said the thing. He said the thing.
Finish him.
I really wish Sub-Zero's head rip is one of the most famous fatalities. I think. Everything was fine. It's not like there's not already YouTube videos that probably show a single fatality across every variation of Mortal Kombat, from arcade to all the way down to the Game Boy and the Game Gear versions. The Game Gear one is surprisingly good, but there comes a point where it's like, okay, sometimes a demake can just go too far. I hate this combination of Raiden and Johnny Cage. I don't think I'm very good at this. Oh, this is new. I didn't know this was even a thing. Well, that's cool. And at least that didn't have to burn and continue with all that. That's progress. Don't fork it all up, Jess. Remember, there is a secret to this level that involves Reptile, but I think it had something to do with, like, getting so many wins in a row, but, like, you also had to have flawless victories and do fatalities. Like, I forget. That was also one of those things where, like, you want to talk about, like, schoolyard playground discussions, like, how to get Reptile was, like, the biggest thing, along with what are the fatalities. And then, of course, you know how dumb boys are. Oh, there's also a nude code in there. Yep. Stuff like that, too. Little did they know, in a short time, the blossoming of the internet, how easy it would be to see naked ladies. So,
Finish him.
and naked anything else. Let's just shoot a thing. For better or worse. Yeah, this is a savage. Savage lazy. Oh, that's sweet. Wow, I had him on the ropes and I freaking blew it.
Fight. Excellent. Finish him.
Jeez. All of a sudden, Liu Kang has become my biggest nemesis. I shouldn't have said a damn word about the number. Continue, so Jessica, shut up. Play the game. Oh, shut up. Like, the point of filming like this is to have commentary. Let's do that again. And then fight the bosses. Easy peasy, right?
Fight.
That was a cool frame of animation to freeze around. Okay. I'm gonna try not to make any more puns that would not have been out of place. Holy crap. I forgot. It just puts you right into this fight. Oh my gosh, he hits so hard. Look at all that damage. Look at the damage. I had him close, at least, to death. I mean, obviously I fought him before, but is he stuck? Did I trap him in that? Am I gonna defeat him by chip damage? I've never seen that before. I've never seen any character get, like, locked in a block animation. So I think Goro's hitbox is, like, bigger than his sprite would suggest. It feels like I'm able to hit him from, like, further. Okay. That's the final boss. Use all of the cheap tactics you have learned in Dustly so far. I don't know, the computer's not afraid to be cheaped either. It's like... And it's like, everybody has... probably seen this, like, if you're not familiar with Mortal Kombat, where it's like, everybody uses the same kinds of, like, uppercuts, like, punch combos, roundhouses, like, it's not like Street Fighter where, oh wow, we did it! Yay! I'm the Supreme Mortal Kombat Warrior, although, I think the game defaults is easy. Yeah! Oh, sweet. Daniel Pacina played most of the past. Well, him and Carl. Elizabeth, super bad. Oh, stop motion miniatures are so cool. This is one of those instances where Acclaim, like, Arena was part of Acclaim, and so was Flying Edge. This is one of those times where Acclaim did a good job with publishing and whatever in-house work their teams did on this. The problem is, a lot of you who are familiar with Acclaim's publishing history know that they're kind of up there with LGN as far as, like, legendarily bad publishers. They did a good job with this. And NBA Jam. And it was... Mortal Kombat and NBA Jam made stupid money. And that, unfortunately, with the stupid amount of money, they then, like, gobbled up a bunch of licenses and a bunch of cheap cash-in games. They also got up to some questionable practices. That's why Acclaim no longer exists. But they did good work here. Credit where credit's due. So, sweet! Mortal Kombat on Sega Genesis. We did it. So. I used to be really intimidated by this game, so it does feel good to be able to, within reason, conquer it. I need to learn my fatalities and stuff. Like, I will allow my to consult the internet in between now and whenever I play this game again, to at least pick up some of the other special moves and fatalities that I've either forgotten or didn't know in the first place. But annual, It's really sweet for one thing. Like, look at this sick artwork. And then you get your little story. It shows you all the moves. Now, it was assuming that most people would be using a 3-button controller. The box doesn't even mention 6-button compatibility. It was just kind of squeaked in there. But yeah, you got these like little cards. I think every other company expected kids to like collect everything as cards. Gives you a lot of like artwork and information about the characters, but unfortunately, they only list one special move, and then you're supposed to figure out the others and right here for reference. Yes, it's pretty sweet. And we'll add for Spider-Man, X-Men, Arcade's Revenge on the back. Yeah. This is the real Mortal Kombat 1, y'all. At least for me, in my heart. Probably this, and like, if I ever got a hold of a copy of like Mortal Kombat Trilogy for PlayStation or 64 or whatever, that'd also be pretty sweet, but this one will always have a special place for me in my heart and in my game library. So, thanks for watching, thanks for playing, y'all. Appreciate you sticking with me for a couple fails before we had a success, but, you know, hopefully you were entertained. Thank you again. Stay frosty, watch your corners, have a great weekend, or a great weekday, depending on when you watch this. Be excellent to each other, party on.